I just think he's doing a better job. I think he's being more decisive. Now, it's easy to say we're not in pads. It just feels like he's making quicker decisions. The ball's coming out of his hands, which he's going to have to do. I think what you see is elite playmaking ability. That's in him. You've seen it. We've seen it. You saw it in college. You saw it on tape last year. Sure, there's a ways to go, but what rookie isn't? I mean, what first-year player doesn't have a long way to go? So I'm excited to get started with him.
The Cleveland Browns wrapped up mandatory minicamp, and the biggest takeaway was not just that the quarterback competition is still alive. The bigger story is that Todd Monken looked at Shedeur Sanders' progress and made it very clear that this is no longer just hype from fans or clips floating around online. The head coach himself is seeing real growth. He is seeing faster decisions. He is seeing the ball come out quicker. He is seeing a quarterback who is starting to process the offense instead of just surviving inside it. And that is exactly why this competition is going to stretch into training camp. This is where the tension starts, because the Browns wanted clarity by now. Monken even admitted he would have loved to already know his quarterback order. He would have loved for someone to separate, either upward or downward, but that did not happen. Instead, Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson both played well enough to keep the battle open. And for Shedeur, that is a big deal. He did not walk into this offseason as the automatic favorite. He walked in as the young quarterback who had to prove he could handle a new offense, a new coaching staff, and a room with a veteran trying to reclaim his career. By the final day of minicamp, Monken was not ready to name a starter, and he was not even ready to lock in a clean 1-2-3 depth chart. His answer was simple. They are going into summer break with the same approach, and they will start training camp by alternating quarterbacks just like they have been doing. That tells you everything. This thing is not over. It is not even close to over. And the reason it is not over is because Shedeur has grown enough to force the Browns to keep evaluating him seriously.
His progressions, getting the ball out, his understanding of concepts, I think he's really come a long way.
Monken's comments about Shedeur were important because they were specific. He did not just say he is doing good. He said Shedeur is being more decisive. He said the ball is coming out of his hands quicker. He said Shedeur has playmaking ability, but the bigger key is processing faster, eliminating lost yardage plays, stacking positive plays, and helping the offense score. That's coach language, but it's also real quarterback language. That's the difference between a talented passer and a quarterback a coach can trust. And that is the part people need to understand. Shedeur's growth is not only about deep balls or highlight throws. Browns fans have already seen the clips where he can attack downfield. They've seen the connection with Isaiah Bond. They've seen him throw over the middle. They've seen him hit tight ends and attack soft spots in zone. But Monken is focusing on something more important. Can Shedeur run the offense efficiently? Can he get the ball out on time? Can he avoid negative plays? Can he keep the Browns ahead of schedule? That is what decides jobs. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Shedeur is not just trying to prove he can make plays. He is trying to prove he can stop bad plays from killing drives. That is a huge difference. In college, a quarterback with confidence can sometimes hold the ball, extend, wait, and still make something happen. In the NFL, that same habit can turn into sacks, fumbles, holding penalties, and second and long. Monken knows that. That is why he keeps talking about quicker processing. The Browns do not need Shedeur to become less creative. They need him to become more efficient with that creativity.
It would feel different if I didn't feel like their progression hadn't gotten to this point where I think they both can start and play winning football. I'm convinced of it. And I'd say it if I didn't. I mean, I can't decide now because I think both have earned the opportunity to continue to compete once we put the pads on.
That is why the praise from the quarterback coach matters too. The quarterback coach talked about Shedeur defining his footwork, playing with a stronger base, learning the offense, and working hard to master it. He also said Shedeur is getting through progressions faster, and his feet are matching that mindset. That detail is huge. Quarterback development is not just about knowing where to throw. It's about the body matching the brain. If the eyes are ready but the feet are late, the ball is late. If the feet are clean and tied to the progression, the offense has rhythm. That is exactly the kind of growth Browns fans should want to hear. It's not fake praise. It's not just he has a good arm or he is talented. It's about mechanics, timing, processing, and discipline. Those are the things that turn a young quarterback into a real option. And when both Monken and the quarterback coach are saying the same things, that becomes harder to dismiss. The same message keeps coming up. Shedeur is working, learning, improving, and making the competition last longer than many people expected. That does not mean he has won the job. That would be going too far. Monken made it clear the pads matter. He said it's hard to truly say what pressure would have looked like without pads. Maybe a quarterback had extra time that he wouldn't have in a real game. Maybe a throw looks clean now, but with live pressure, it changes. That's why Monken wants to wait. Quarterbacks and offensive linemen especially cannot be fully judged until the team starts practicing in real football conditions. So Shedeur has made progress, but the real test is still coming.
And that is what makes this story so interesting. Monken is praising Shedeur's growth, but he is not crowning him. He is also praising Watson enough to keep the competition open. He said both quarterbacks have earned the opportunity to keep competing once the pads come on. He even said if he did not believe they were capable of starting and playing winning football, he would say that. That is a strong statement. Monken is not presenting this as a weak quarterback room. He is presenting it as a room where two players have done enough to deserve a real fight. For Shedeur, that is a victory by itself. When minicamp started, a lot of people still wondered if he was more of a developmental story than a real threat. Now, by the end of minicamp, the head coach is saying he has progressed, the quarterback coach is saying his footwork and progressions are improving, and the competition is staying open because nobody has separated. That means Shedeur did what he needed to do in the spring. He made the Browns keep watching. The practice clips back that up too. Shedeur has been attacking the middle of the field with confidence. One of the plays discussed showed him reading the space between defenders and delivering the ball into the soft area of the zone. That is not just a throw. That is trust. He trusted the receiver to sit in the right spot. He trusted his eyes. He got to the top of his drop and released it with timing. Those are the plays that matter on first down, second down, and in normal game rhythm.
Everybody is saying that the growth is noticeable, right? So I think that's something that is extremely, you've got to feel good. You've got to feel some sort of confidence that Shedeur is getting that growth because in his own words, he's been going out there every single day and staying, keeping true to his word that, hey, I'm going to improve. I'm going to get better. And he's improved and he's gotten better. And now at this point, he's turned a competition that was supposed to be over today into a competition that's probably going to drag out into the preseason game. So
there was a throw to a tight end over the middle with Jared Verse getting his arms up. That kind of throw matters because it shows Shedeur is not scared to work through traffic. Young quarterbacks often lean on tight ends because they create cleaner throwing windows. If Shedeur can consistently hit those throws, Monken can build easy answers around him. This is where it gets dangerous. Once a young quarterback starts getting praise, people push the story too far too fast. Fans will hear Monken praise Shedeur and immediately say he should start week 1. But that is not what Monken said. He said Shedeur is more decisive. His processing is better. He has earned the right to keep competing. That is not the same as being named QB1. He still has to do it with pads on and pressure in his face. Watson is still very much alive in this competition too. The tracker had him 14 for 18 with 2 touchdowns on the final day. Monken talked about how Watson owns his mistakes and how his feet can still be a weapon. So this is not a one-sided story. But the difference is Watson is trying to recover something, while Shedeur is trying to become something. That is why fans are drawn to Shedeur. Every good rep feels like a new door opening. Every sign of growth feels like the Browns may actually have something developing. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Monken said the amount control a quarterback gets depends on how much ownership he wants. Some quarterbacks do not want that responsibility, but Monken said his guys do. And if Shedeur is showing he wants control at the line, that gives him a real path to earn trust. That is how you win over a coach like Monken, not by saying you want the keys, but by proving you know how to drive. The most encouraging thing is that the growth is noticeable across the entire spring. That means the coaching is connecting. Feet are cleaner, reads are quicker, timing is sharper. That is what a coach wants at this stage. Not perfection, progress. And according to Monken, Shedeur gave them exactly that. So, the debate is wide open heading into training camp. Did Monken's praise signal that Shedeur is truly closing the gap on Watson? Or does Watson still control this race once the pads come on? The answer comes in August, not June. But one thing is clear after the final day of Brown's minicamp. Shedeur Sanders did not waste the spring. He grew, he worked, he improved. And because of that, Monken cannot close this competition yet. For a young quarterback trying to prove he belongs, that is the first real win.